Welcome to the Power of Your Voice podcast with your host, Johnny Gorky. You have the power to overcome challenges and fears. Let my voice and the voice of many others show you how to transform these challenges into opportunities. To learn more about future podcasts and read episode show notes, check out my website at www.thepowerofyourvoice.com.
Hey guys, Johnny here with the Power of Your Voice podcast. Guys, I've been gone for a while. I know this episode has been long due. I've been working on several different projects and now helping to support other people with their podcasts. But I'm back. I have some future podcasts that will be coming out shortly as well. But this is a very important episode because our mindset during scarcity, during these pandemics, they can be a win-win. I think sometimes we think, well, I need to win, but when I win, other people will lose. But the truth is this, we can win and other people can win too. So during this current coronavirus pandemic, I've been thinking a lot about it and how our society's mindset has quickly shifted into panic and scarcity. Now today I visited several grocery stores in my area. So I live in Atlanta. And they just announced yesterday that they're going to be closing the schools here for probably the next 2 weeks. So I have 3 young kids and I'm like, well, let me go to the store and buy some basic things because while the kids are here at the house, I'm going to need a few things, right? And I'm usually the type of person, I'm just going to go to the store and buy the basic things that I'm going to get anyways. But I couldn't help but notice that while I went to the store, so for example, one of the first stores I went to today was Sam's Club. And as soon as I got there, it's Friday, and it's probably about 1 o'clock. Usually on a Friday at 1 o'clock, most people are shopping. I shouldn't say shopping. They're at work. Maybe they're shopping, when they get off work, maybe 5, 6 o'clock. But today wasn't your typical day. So when I got to Sam's Club, I noticed that there was no place to park. Finally, somebody left and I was able to park. And where there's usually grocery shopping carts, there wasn't any. There's no shopping carts. I'm walking throughout the parking lot. I'm like, what is going on here? And finally, I found a shopping cart. I went into the store and I couldn't help but notice the lines inside the store were extremely long. Probably, to check out was probably a good hour, 2 hours, I kid you not. And when I got to the meat section where, you buy chicken, beef, fish, all that kind of stuff, everything was completely gone. I've never seen this in my entire life where everything was gone. Now, we're at this state in society where, we got this crazy virus. We have no idea what's going to go on. And people are buying everything. Now, honestly, there's nothing wrong with buying maybe enough to last you, 2 weeks or so. But I see these people who are literally putting in their shopping cart enough food to probably last them at least a month or so. And I was talking to one of my good buddies today. He's originally from Cuba. And he was telling me when he was in Cuba, when it comes to toilet paper, and I'm sure, all you guys who are listening now, you've probably heard for the past couple of days, all the stores, I don't care what store you go to, no one has toilet paper. And he was telling me back in Cuba, people would just use their newspaper to wipe their butt. And it's kind of funny because he's like, every time you wipe your butt, you see a picture of Castro on it. But he's like, it's really nothing you think about because as a kid, this is just what everybody uses. They use newspapers. And here it's I've noticed so many people have been buying endless supplies of toilet paper to the point that I don't care what store you go to, but you can't find any toilet paper. And it makes me think there's no shortage of toilet paper. But at the same time, what we're doing is we're causing this pandemic ourselves, this scarcity that we think we're going to run out of things when in fact we're not going to run out of things. But what we're doing is we're kind of creating this shift where we are running out of things when we really don't have to. The reason why this is very important is because I've noticed at the store, like when I was at Sam's Club and several other stores today, that you cannot buy anything for fevers. And I don't think there's anything wrong with buying, one bottle of medication in case you get a fever, because with this coronavirus and other viruses too, you might get a fever. But how can we make this a win-win? Buying 3, 4, 5, 6 bottles of medication for fevers is not creating a win for other people. Now, yes, you might need it, but here's the thing that I think is very important that we realize is that by what we're doing in these behaviors is we could actually be causing a lot of harm to other people. Now, I have a young daughter who she's doing really well, but I remember a couple months ago, she was getting a lot of easy ear infections. So for anyone who's listening who has children, I'm sure you can relate to this. But when a child has ear infections, what's one thing that they get a lot? They get these high fever. And how scary is it now at the moment where we're going through this pandemic, where people are going to stores and they're literally buying everything. And now you might have this parent who wants to go to the store and buy a bottle of Tylenol or Advil or Motrin or ibuprofen for a child, and they're not able to buy a bottle. And now this kid has this high fever, and now they're having to go to the hospital because of it. And you have people who could possibly have the coronavirus who should be at the hospitals instead, and it just really makes a big mess. So I think it's very important that we realize we can create win-win situations, but we need to be very, very careful and not overreact with things. And I think the media and all this kind of stuff is definitely not helping us in any way. Like I was talking to my friend today, and he was mentioning there was this woman, she was at a store, and maybe she bought like 12 packages of toilet paper. She had all these in her cart, and she was going to the checkout, and the store, they're completely gone now. And this woman, she had all these packages of toilet paper, and a woman approached her and said, could I get one of them? Now, this woman buying 12 things of toilet paper, I mean, this is probably enough toilet paper to last her probably, 2-3 months. And a woman approached her, and she asked her if she could get one. She didn't want all of them. She just wanted one pack for her family. And this woman's like, no, you can't have any. And she was kind of getting in a fight with her. And apparently there was a manager in the store. He saw this, and he told the lady with all this toilet paper, go, leave the store. You're not going to get anything. So the woman who wanted to buy one pack, she was able to get some. And then, of course, the other 11 packages that were left, I'm sure they were able to give it to other people in the store too. So obviously this woman who wanted to buy all this toilet paper for herself, she didn't win. She thought that, I get to win, and unfortunately other people are going to have to lose. So I think it's very important for us to realize, let's go to the store. Let's buy the things that we do need, but we don't have to buy all these extra things, because what that does is it causes other people to lose. Like I noticed the other day when I went to the store, I saw a bottle of rubbing alcohol. There was only one bottle left. I didn't buy it because I'm like, I do have some at home. Let someone else get this. That's very important, because maybe someone else gets a cut. Maybe they have an infection and they need this bottle of rubbing alcohol. Let them get it, because I'll be okay. Now, I think one thing that's important to mention, I was observing this while I was at the stores today. I noticed people who were probably in their late 60s, 70s. I even seen some people probably in their 80s. And I noticed while I was walking through the store that a lot of these people in their shopping carts, they were just buying the regular things that they usually would buy anyways. They didn't have that much stuff in their shopping cart. And it made me realize, these are people who've been around for a pretty long time. They've been through Well, some of them, they've been through World War II when they were probably children. My mother, she's 73, so, she can relate to that. But some of these people, they grew up during Vietnam and the Korean War and all that kind of stuff. So they have an idea of how this kind of stuff works. And they buy the things that they need, and they realize, what, we're going to be fine. Where I think, us younger people, probably 20s, 30s, 40s, where some of us haven't been through these situations, we think, oh my gosh, the world's going to end and all this stuff, which, it's not going to. So I think it's very important for all of us to have compassion for other people, be kind to other people. A lot of times when we go through these stressful situations, we forget that we're all human. So I strongly recommend for all of us, reach out to your friends, your family. Let people know that you're thinking about them. Let everybody know that you love and care about them. Because, the truth is, life is now. We don't know. Any of us could get this virus. Some of us could die. With any kind of virus, anything is possible, to be completely honest. But at the end of the day, let's be nice to people. Let's show compassion. Let's be kind. Let's, when we go through situations like this, how do we want to be remembered? We want to be remembered as people that love and care about one another. So, no matter what is going on in this world, let's help our neighbors. Let's help our friends. Let's reach out to people. And as a society and as a community and all this, let's be there for one another, because this is the time where we really get to be there for each other. It's so incredibly important. As a society as a whole, let's be there for each other, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so very much for listening to the Power of Your Voice podcast. Can't wait for the next future episodes. They're going to be coming out soon. As I said, I've been pretty busy for the past couple months, working on 7 different projects, helping other people with their podcasts as well. So, I'm back. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. And remember, we're all in this together. Let's support each other, be there for each other, reach out to your friends, family. Remember, life is now. There's no guarantee. We don't know how long we're going to be here. But while we are here, let's be kind to one another. Thanks again for listening to the Power of Your Voice podcast. Have a fantastic and a beautiful day. Take care. Johnny here. Thank you for listening to the Power of Your Voice podcast. I would absolutely love to get your feedback on this episode and how it impacted you. Reach out to me on Instagram by sending a direct message to username Voice Podcast. If someone in your life could benefit from this episode, share it with them, and check out thepowerofyourvoice.com to read blogs on each podcast episode and learn more about what was discussed. And please, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This lets me know you find this show valuable. And thank you for listening.